parachutes over the skies of northern France, commemorating the 70th anniversary of D-Day. But as leaders gather for this very public display of remembrance, it will be behind the scenes where much of the talk about Europe's present and future will happen. Arriving in Europe, US President Barack Obama held out the prospect of a face-to-face encounter with his Russian counterpart.
I have no doubt that I'll see Mr. Putin, and he and I have always had a business-like relationship, and it is entirely appropriate that he is there to commemorate D-Day, given the extraordinary sacrifices that were made by the people of the Soviet Union during World War II. Should we have the opportunity to talk, I will be repeating the same message that I've been delivering to him throughout this crisis.
And perhaps more importantly, will Russian President Putin meet with the new Ukrainian President-elect Petro Poroshenko? The French hosts seem to indicate they are trying to bring them together.
Yes, I invited President Poroshenko as soon as he got elected. I invited him especially in order for him to be there, as he represents the people of Ukraine, who suffered a lot during the Second World War. So he will be here next to President Putin.
And in a diplomatic dance, the President of France held two separate dinners Thursday night, one for US President Barack Obama and his team, and one for Russian President Vladimir Putin, hoping to find a breakthrough, though separately, over Ukraine. Much, however, will depend on Western and Russian reaction to a proposed peace plan from the new Ukrainian president-elect, which he is due to present during his visit to France. As Europe remembers the sacrifices of the men who died in a divided Europe decades ago, an opportunity to heal the divisions of today. For progress, though, the Western powers have laid down three conditions for Russia to avoid further sanctions over Ukraine. For one, recognize Petro Poroshenko's election as the new leader in Ukraine. Two, stop arms crossing the border. And three, cease support for pro-independence groups in eastern Ukraine. If that does not happen, Western leaders have said that sanctions against specific sectors of the Russian economy will follow. Though interestingly, Mike, one of the conditions not mentioned was the situation in Crimea. The region, of course, joined Russia and the Western powers, and Ukrainian leaders have long insisted Russia renounce its union. But we are seeing, potentially by leaving it out, outlines of a possible deal over Ukraine.
Interesting. All right, thanks so much, Nathan.